welcome to the AKF channel. My name is Ibe, and today we have a very special guest, Ashley. How are you today?
I'm doing great.
Awesome. Tell us a little about yourself and what you do.
Well, my name is Ashley, and I am an Army brat. I was born in Frankfurt, Germany. My parents both served, and let's see, I am a Lego master builder. I am a nursing assistant. I work with seniors with dementia and also people with special needs as well, and that's what I do for a living.
What advice would you give to your peers who have been diagnosed who could potentially have the same opinions and fears that you have had?
You know, I was diagnosed late, so my story's a little complicated, and I would just say don't give up. It's the start of your journey. A diagnosis is a good thing, and just seek help and support immediately. Um, the fears I've had is just the fact that I was diagnosed so late, still seeking and getting help, but don't give up. Like, keep going, it's not the end.
If you had had the chance, what advice would you give to parents and professionals about autism? What are some of the things you wish they knew?
If I had a chance, what advice would I give parents, professionals? Autism is a very unique thing. Everybody's different. One of the things I wish they knew, just accept the child for who they are. Don't try to change them. Focus on their strengths, like not their weaknesses or anything. And early intervention is very important. I think all teachers and workplaces should get, trained in autism, what it is, to better have more inclusion in the workplace and no more bullying with the students, and that's just what I'm hoping for and fighting for today. A chance. I would say, if you feel or your child has something different with them, please, like I say, get them diagnosed. Like I say, I got diagnosed late, so I had many struggles. Didn't know it was autism, but with the bullying, and then I also have a learning disability as well with autism. So just from that all combined, and then my parents, they knew something was different, but they were like, didn't think it was autism. They just thought it was just a learning type problem, but there was other issues too with like not me getting bullied, being delayed in my milestones for my age. So I realized in my early 20s, or late 20s, I've got to get some help. So I went and saw a psychologist, and she diagnosed with autism, or Asperger's syndrome. So, the things that I wish they knew were just, back in the 80s growing up, it's just autism. Females are really hard to get diagnosed than guys, so I wish there was more out there for the girls than the boys. If I can go turn the clock back, that'd be great. But just got to move forward and just take what you have and continue to educate yourself like I do with autism, and to encourage other parents that don't wait to get your child diagnosed if you can get them diagnosed early. Do it now. It'll help them in the long run.
What would you say is the most offensive word or phrase that people use when they refer to you? What would be a healthy alternative?
Oh gosh, love this question. Love it and hate at the same time. Two words, but growing up, before I knew I was autistic, I've been called slow by teachers, peers. Yeah. Believe it or not, teachers, yes, that is true. The world could just be cruel. But yeah, slow, I think they could have used like maybe just no words at all. Nobody should be called a name, but a lot of people have said, oh, she's slow, like slow learning. Back when I was in school, instead of it being autism, they said, oh, your child is a slow learner, so we're going to put her in special ed. And of course, the big R word, which I don't like to say, retarded, which I haven't really been called that, but slow I've been called on multiple occasions, because was very clumsy and moved apparently slow to the teacher's standards. And of course, my learning was really delayed. I don't even like the word delayed either. I don't even know why I'm even saying it, but um, I would just say I just needed more time to just catch on to things. Which also I meant to say, I was born very early, so I was premature, and most premature babies also tend to have some learning issues too. If you want to get like scientific and detailed about that, but slow, I would say the word slow was pretty much the word that I did not like. But a lot of, I would say, when a child is autistic or has autism, me personally, because I'm like higher functioning. I know people are like low and high, but I'm more in a mild end of the spectrum. I like this person to say on the spectrum. I think that sounds more professional and not so offensive. So a lot of people nowadays are saying like, "Oh, my child is on the spectrum." That's better. It's more inclusive. It's more just discreet. It's not like really, targeting. It's autism, but it's cleaned up a little bit. I think personally. So I think anybody on the spectrum of autism should be anybody with autism. I think should be say on the spectrum versus is autistic or he's slow or different or has special needs. And I even had to catch myself when I saying certain words like special needs or whatever. I would just say in terms of the autistic world on the spectrum because there's many disabilities out there. Like Down syndrome and cerebral palsy and all that. But for autism, they say nowadays on the spectrum. So I think that'd be a healthier alternative than these other words.
How do you feel personally about the research that's being done to find a cure for autism? Do you feel that it's something that needs to be cured?
Well, to answer this quickly, no, it doesn't. Autism is a part of who the person is, whether they're born with it or they develop it a little later. I really feel like it doesn't need to be cured because to say it needs to be cured is saying that it's like a bad thing, and autism is not a bad thing. I just think that the world needs to learn more about it and educate themselves. And there's so much like out there. There's no excuse to like not educate yourself. There's so much out there to learn what autism is, and even if you don't have a book, just speak to somebody who is autistic. I mean, that's just the best. I think that's the best info you can get is somebody who has it because then they could teach you better than a book. And once you've met one person with autism, you met one person. But again, I don't feel there should be a cure for autism. However, there are behaviors that are followed by autism. But you can just find ways to cope with that specific child or adult, but not cure. Like, we're not trying to take it away. So I get very angry when I see, like, these commercials about certain, these ads about pills and things. Like, because they make it like autism is a bad thing. It's really not. I think it's a gift.
What would you do different if you had a child that had the same special needs as you once had or have?
Well, now that the times are different, if I were to have a child, I would definitely seek out help immediately. I mean, just immediately. If I have the funds and means to do so, which I'm sure I probably would by then. Basically, just get them diagnosed early. Early intervention is very, very important. And unfortunately, I couldn't get early intervention for many reasons, but it's going to really help that child out in the long run. I promise you. They're going to be so happy. They're going to have support early on, as I'm still fighting for support today, but early intervention. I would definitely get my child diagnosed immediately. If I suspect anything slight, whether it's bullying, a speech delay, something, like, let's go get tested immediately.
What are your future plans?
I have so many. To continue advocating for autistic adults, especially late diagnosed ones or ones that know they have but aren't sure or whatever. I want the whole world just to know that autism is a good thing. Like, there's nothing wrong with it, and if you are diagnosed late, then it's just the beginning of your journey. To just continue to might be advocate yourself. I would like to encourage a lot of self advocates out there. The more advocates, the better to help spread awareness for autism. Yeah, so like some more future plans would be to I've always had like a heart for like homeless people, and a lot of time homeless people are not born homeless per se. They have like a lot of mental needs, and believe it or not, a lot of undiagnosed and diagnosed autistic or people on the spectrum end up being homeless because of you know lack of support, and they just or lack of medication or whatever it may be to help cope with their autism. But I just want to build like homeless shelters for people and just feed them. And I'm a nursing assistant, so I love like care on people and make sure they're clean and all that, and feeding and all that. So I want to do that one day too, and to show the world that autistic adults or people on the spectrum can also do things that neurotypical people can do, like have own businesses and start their own, businesses and things. And so that's what I want to do in the future, hopefully.
And that's all the time we have for today. We hope you enjoyed this, and we'll catch us next time with another special guest at the AKF channel.